Welcome back, listeners, to Old News, where we revisit the most pivotal moments of each year. Today, we're diving into the transformative events of 1966. Let's go. We begin with international tensions in Asia. The Vietnam War escalated further in '66, with U.S. troop levels rising to over 385,000 by the end of the year. President Lyndon B. Johnson's strategy of increased military involvement was met with growing protests back home. As more American soldiers were sent to fight in Southeast Asia, protests against the war became louder, including the March Against the Vietnam War in New York City, which saw tens of thousands of people marching down Fifth Avenue. In China, 1966 marked the beginning of the Cultural Revolution. Initiated by Communist Party Chairman Mao Zedong, this socio-political movement sought to preserve communist ideology by purging remnants of capitalist and traditional elements from Chinese society. Red Guards, mostly young students, were encouraged to challenge authority, leading to widespread chaos, public humiliations, and even violence against perceived enemies of the revolution. The Cultural Revolution would reshape Chinese society for years to come. Back in the United States, the civil rights movement continued to gain momentum. One of the most notable events was the creation of the Black Panther Party in Oakland, California. Founded by Bobby Seale and Huey P. Newton, the party sought to challenge police brutality and provide community services, but it also sparked controversy for its militant stance. 1966 also saw the rise of the slogan Black Power, epitomized by civil rights leader Stokely Carmichael, who advocated for a more radical approach to achieving racial justice and empowerment for African Americans. This was also the year the National Organization for Women Now was founded. Spearheaded by activist Betty Friedan, Now sought to address gender discrimination and fight for women's rights in the workplace, education, and beyond. Their advocacy would contribute to the broader feminist movement that defined the next decade. Meanwhile, in the world of space exploration, NASA achieved a major success with the launch of Lunar Orbiter 1, which captured the first-ever images of Earth from the Moon's orbit. These iconic photographs became symbols of human ingenuity and curiosity as we inch closer to the dream of landing a man on the Moon, which would be achieved just 3 years later. Then, on September 11th, 1966, an incredible tale of survival emerged from the South Pacific. 6 boys from Tonga, aged 13 to 16, were rescued after being stranded on a remote, uninhabited island for an astonishing 15 months. The boys set out in June 1965, stealing a small boat for what they thought would be a quick adventure, but they were caught in a storm and drifted over 100 miles to the island of Arta. On the island, they survived by working together, building shelter, catching fish, and keeping a fire going for more than a year. Captain Peter Warner, an Australian sailor, discovered them by chance while passing the island. Amazingly, the boys were in good health and spirits and were reunited with their families in what can only be described as a miraculous story of human resilience and teamwork. And the television landscape changed forever with the debut of Star Trek on NBC. Though initially underappreciated, Star Trek would become one of the most influential and enduring franchises in television history. The show's vision of a future where humanity worked together across cultures and planets resonated with the optimistic yet turbulent times. In music, the Beatles released Revolver, a groundbreaking album that showcased the band's experimentation with studio techniques and diverse musical styles. Songs like Eleanor Rigby and Tomorrow Never Knows pushed the boundaries of pop music, cementing the Beatles' reputation as creative pioneers. Meanwhile, The Rolling Stones continued to ride the wave of their success, with hit songs like Paint It Black, as they helped shape the rebellious spirit of rock music. In sports, Muhammad Ali was at the center of controversy when he refused to be drafted into the U.S. Army, citing his religious beliefs and opposition to the Vietnam War. His decision led to a suspension from boxing, but it also cemented his role as an outspoken advocate for civil rights and peace. Finally, 1966 saw the release of the iconic Ford Mustang Shelby GT 350, which became a symbol of American engineering and a favorite among car enthusiasts. It was also the year the Ford GT40 triumphed at the 24 Hours of Le Mans, ending Ferrari's dominance in the prestigious race and marking a new era in American automotive excellence. This has been old news, a year in review. In the words of Winston Churchill, those that fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Thanks for listening. Please share and subscribe for more new, meaning old episodes.